Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crochet, a Canadian crochet podcast. I'm so glad I have that sign, and I can't believe I didn't really think to use it until today. But I hope you understand it. Crochet, a Canadian crochet podcast. I'm so clever, aren't I? I'm just joking. I thought it was funny. I am your hostess, Claudia. Thank you so much for joining me today. So this is, and I know I say this a few times, but this probably will be a shorter episode because I don't actually have a whole lot to discuss with you today. Also, this is like the 5th time I've tried to record this episode because it went well, then it went okay, then we had 2 disastrous ones where I was all over the place and the animals were bothering me. So hopefully 5th time's a charm, I hope. I could also include, or I'm going to, today I'm going to include a whole bunch of bloopers. They're not that funny to anybody, I guess, except me, but I know I like to watch the bloopers. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to apologize in a very Canadian fashion, so sorry. The animals are very rainy today. We are having a Chinook, so it is 6 degrees Celsius out right now, which is amazing. It is windy because it's a Chinook. And I would like to, today is 6, it's currently 6 degrees. Yesterday it got to be, I think, -1. And then the day before it was -27 degrees Celsius. So we've had like a 30-degree swing, a little bit more than that, in a couple of days. I'm actually super stoked because this is the first time in a long time I haven't had a ridiculous migraine when a Chinook has rolled in. So yay, I'm excited for that. Okay, so we will get started. Oh yes, if you hear animals in the background, I'm going to try my best to edit this out, or edit them out, not edit this out. Edit them out if they're making too much noise. Right now they're snoozing, so hopefully they stay that way for a little while. Anyway, it's Work in Progress Wednesday, so let's get at it. Recall this ball that looks like an egg, which I was like, oh, it's like Pasenka, sort of, in a way. It's pretty. I kind of just like this as it is. Anyway, and remember how I said I was not going to frog that shirt if I was just going to give it away. Well, you should know by now, I can't be trusted when it comes to crochet, which hurts me to say because I like to be the kind of person that I feel is a trustworthy individual. So it's hard for me to say that about myself, but it's true. I did frog the shirt. I got to my waist, so I was trying it on and I was like, it's the tiniest bit tight through the rib cage, but it's similar to this yarn. So like while it's tight, it has some give to it. So I like that. And I was breathing and trying to like expand my lungs as much as possible just to see how it felt. And then I went and I looked in the mirror and I was like, and then I looked at the ceiling like I do and I'm like, why? So the front panel, if you recall, I said it was sort of like alpine stitch adjacent, and it had a very, very clear inside and outside. Well, hopefully you can understand where this is going. Sometimes there was inside, sometimes there was outside, and it didn't even look intentional because I think I could have gotten away with it had it been, like 20 rows of right side out, then 20 rows of inside out, then like if it was blocked like that, but no, it was just this higgledy-piggledy thing. I don't know what happened. We were watching this really weird show. Not weird. I'm really into the show, so I think like I wasn't giving enough attention to the project, so it just went sideways, unfortunately. So yeah, I frogged literally the entire thing, and I restarted it. So I am this far, which I'm so sad because I had gotten so far. I was almost to the point where I was starting to plan my sleeves. And now we're back to this. So instead of doing fancy stitches and like trying to make it like cute and zhuzhy, I'm just doing plain, boring double crochet. There is a row here of half double crochet for the neck. So it is like this. This is all I have done. And you may notice that the stitch size is smaller, and that is because I traded in my 3.5mm hook. What was I using for? I think it was 3.5 for a 2.5mm hook, which that is so tiny. Oh my gosh! Like my favorite hook size is a 6.5mm, This is a far cry, let me tell you. That being said, now that I'm using it with this, when I make socks, this is what I will use with it, because actually I may have an even smaller one somewhere. My daughter really likes to take these and they sort of wander around our house in spite of my best intentions. Okay, sorry, just a side note about these hooks. I want to chat about them. So these are the inexpensive hooks you can get from Walmart with the rubbery, grippy plastic. I don't know what these handles are made of. I can't really tell. Like, it sort of feels like silicone, but it's not. It's not that squishy. It's some kind of plastic composite, I'm sure. Anyway, like these, if you are on a very tight budget and you really would like to get going with crochet, I do recommend these, but these are not going to last all that long. So I kept the small ones of these. Sorry, I was just trying to think of my desk drawer downstairs. I have the same company that makes these, makes bamboo ones, and I actually really, really like those. The neck and the throat feels good. I let the hook points down properly. For being inexpensive hooks, they are actually quite nice. They wouldn't work with every single yarn though, and if you have wool, I think they might get a bit snaggy because they're bamboo. But again, if you have a tight budget and you want something that's like a decent workaround, because I've used those bamboo ones with like this type of yarn, acrylic, wool blends, wool, what else have I used it with? Cotton, and it performs all pretty much the same. But if you had something like a mohair, I think that wouldn't be a good choice. Anyway, back to these ones. So I kept the smaller ones because they have the larger handle, and the company that makes the bamboo version of these doesn't make them this small. So I don't often use them, but I find that I'm reaching more for lace weight yarn recently because, I don't know, I have the death wish, I guess. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I used to love a big chunky yarn all the time. Everything was big all the time, but now not so much. Anyway, these will have to be replaced eventually. These are not a long-term solution by any stretch of the imagination. So one thing I don't like is it really collects dirt and dust. So these, I had to wash this before we started this episode, and still, like, I can see in the time I've been holding it, it's got this gross dirt line on it. And I don't have dirty hands. I was just washing. I was just cleaning. And I washed my hands. So I don't, and I mean, it rubs off, but it's still, like, it's gross. So I don't like that. I preferred like the plastic ones, like my clover hooks don't do that. And then also I had an 8mm of this brand because I needed one before I had purchased my clover one. And same thing, it always looked dirty. It was yellow like this. And then I hold my hooks, I'm trying to think, like this. Okay. So I wore through the whole bottom of this part on my 8mm hook and through this part here. I didn't wear through, actually. This got very, very smooth and rounded, which is fine, but you can see it's like square shape, like that, see? So I would have worn through this part right here. And then, yeah, I wore a hole through the bottom, and the metal part of the hook was sticking out. I guess I could have probably just pulled the hook out, but these are not, like, they're not that nice that I would be worried about, like, trying to rescue them. So for that one, what did I do? I think I may have cut the handle off, and then I donated it because, like, technically it's perfectly fine, but I already had an 8mm hook, and I'm trying to pare down all my stuff. So yeah, okay, sorry. That is my digression about these hooks. Is I would say yes, but if you are on a very tight budget and you need something just to learn, these are inexpensive and it is a good way to get started. But no, these are not going to be your forever hooks. If you don't have hand problems, I would suggest going for the straight aluminum ones that are just little guys like this. Susan Bates makes ones. The head is a different shape. Boy makes it, and then Michael's, what is their store brand? Gosh, I just totally lost it. It's like their loops and threads or whatever. They make hooks and they're very similar to the Boy ones, but you can get them. Those ones would last longer because you're not going to get that on there. So I think I will be reinvesting in my small hooks, my 2 to 4mm hooks. I think I'm probably going to go with clover because I enjoy my 8 and 9mm clover very much. And that's what my yarn store in town, that's what they carry. So I am happy to support them. Anywho, back to my work in progress. now that I've had my digression and I've actually led you down the digression pathway, we can come back. I told you it's one of those days. So there's nothing really to report on this other than I have, oh here, I'll put it on show you. It is this size so far. I made the neck hole a bit bigger because I was struggling to get it on and I didn't care for that. So this, right, it's the neck hole is about the same size as this, maybe a little bit bigger once it is finished. It'll depend on when I put the arms, how this actually is going to come down. Because I don't like to have like a big, huge, this sleeve, this sweater I would say is perfect. Like if I could make every single one like this, I would. But if I could make every single one like this, I would. And I could had I followed a pattern, I suppose. But when you wing it, I don't know. I will have to just like check the number of stitches, but this is what I would like it to fit like. I don't want to use this one as a sweatshirt to be sweating and it'd be gross, but because I like this. This is for every day. Okay, we can get into some A. I have one single finished thing that I worked on that I whipped up very, very quickly for my daughter with that fun yarn I was describing last week. So I have it here. I didn't make this doll with the yarn, so before you get too excited. I made her this little tunic. So this is a square yoke as well. And again, nothing fancy. It's covered in dog hair because that's my house. So it's similar to the other one. It is a half double crochet and then you go into the back loop only. Yeah, on the next row. And then this is just some decorative piping that I wanted to do. It is front loop or back loop double crochet depending on the way that you go, and then it opens up and it is pockets in there. So I made little pockets and then I stitched them to the bottom. So my daughter was excited. She's like, I can put her phone and her sunglasses in there. And I was like, I know, that's why I want to dress with pockets, because I can put my phone and sunglasses in there. So I am quite happy with this. I am planning on making an adult grown-up version of this for myself because I like it. I think it's cute. I don't really know if it's my style. I don't really know what my style is, but I thought it was fun, and if I really don't like it, I will sell the adult size one. Someone is putting makeup on this poor doll. Just look at it, it's got lipstick. So this is, she's not an American Girl doll, but she's an 18-inch doll, so I could have made it, I guess, a tiny bit longer, but I just thought it was sweet. And then I haven't put a button on the back, but I left it big, a big hole, because that is how you have to do some of these. Otherwise it doesn't fit over their little dolly heads. It's cute, hey? Okay, so that is all that I have going on right now, really. Oh, that's not true. The puppy jumped up on me the other day while I was wearing my skirt, the one that I made, that I was so excited about, and I explained for 45 minutes, I feel like. And she ripped it in the back. So I thought, oh, I'll fix it. But the way that she ripped it, I don't think I can fix it without taking most of it apart. So I'm really, really bummed out about that. And I don't know what I'm going to do. As it feels like such a waste to just throw it out. But I don't want to throw it out either. But I know if I take it apart and recrochet it, that it won't go back the way that it was before. And I don't want that. I don't want to have had to do all that work and then redo it. And then it's just, I don't know. It doesn't really go with anything else in my wardrobe. So in some ways I'm like, is it the end of the world? Not really. But no, I don't know. What do you do with these things? And yes, I know I need to dye my hair, and it's still really clean, so it doesn't like sit properly. I only wash my hair maybe once every 10 days. It's not that often. I'm gonna be like, ew, gross. But I have to brush it because I have a skin condition, and I know everybody says skin condition, and then the public recoils, but it's nothing. Well, it's not nothing, but it's not like you can't catch it. It's not unsightly. Like nobody really knows that you have it except you. I have a condition where my dead skin cells do not slough off, so they just keep getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and it's all over my body, so it always looks like I have really, really dry skin, and I have to exfoliate. I have to manually exfoliate my whole self very, very regularly. And also that means, so like my scalp, it often looks dandruffy, but it's not. And if I keep up with the brushing and combing, then it completely eliminates it, because it's just like the skin cells have finally like joined together in a large enough like piece that they can leave at the same time. Where was I going with this? Oh yes, so I brush my hair, but I don't wash it all that often because I don't want to further dry it. And I've used all kinds of different shampoos and conditioners, everything like that, and I don't want anything that is irritating because it makes it worse. I don't want anything that dries it. I don't put conditioner on my scalp because it's just yucky. But so that is why we do that. Brush it, just leave it. Anyway, I washed this 3 days ago. It is still super soft, and I sort of need to spray sea salt spray in there to keep the shape better, because even like it feels too clean, which is, I know that's yucky, but it holds the shape better when it's not clean. Also need a dye. See, it's not as midnight amethyst anymore. It's more like sad autumn lavender that's hanging onto the tree before the wind blows it off. Anywho, so what's coming up? This will be more exciting than the doll. I'm sorry, I'm not that enthusiastic about the doll because I'm not a doll person. I never have been. They don't creep me out, but I'm just like, I'm very ambivalent towards them, so that's why. But my daughter is stoked, so that's what's important with that. Anyway, what's coming up? I have tons of tops, and I don't need any more. But I want to try making some vintage style cardigans from like the 40s, like those cute little, and again, like I don't love short sleeves, so I don't know why I want to do this, but those short sleeved ones that have, they're like, it's not like, it is color work on them, but I wouldn't be doing it as color work. I'd probably just use the, so I would start, how would I do this? I would start with a circle yoke, and then I would crochet a few stitches of the background base color, and then I would do a V-stitch for the color work, and then a few stitches of the plain, and then to work the color work in that way, to make a short sleeve cardigan. But again, like, I don't need that. I wish I knew more people that would want that stuff, because I make things all the time, and then I just have so much, and then I have so much in my wardrobe that I don't need it anymore. Thank you so much for joining me today on Crochet, Canadian Crochet Podcast. If you liked this episode, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can give me one of these. I don't like that, but hey, you're entitled to like what you like and dislike what you dislike. If you would like to subscribe, you can do that below, and make sure that you hit the bell to get notifications of when I upload. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a really great day, and I will see you next week. Bye! No bite. You are such the wiggle bump. Look at what you have done. This is just going to be primarily bloopers this week. Yes, it is. You're just so sweet, though. You know what? We're going to get right into it. Amber. Looks like an egg, doesn't it? Like a Fabergé egg. All fancy. Anyhow, that's like almost 30 degrees difference now. Like, it's insane. I can't do math. 25. Yeah, it's almost 30. All over the place. Regardless, here is, you know what? Let's just start over.